Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. It's probably an unnecessary number of checks. Why am I wearing a glove? Just go with it. Today I'm going to be reviewing this anatomical female head that was sent to me. Of course, I love doing reviews for products, and especially when they're things that I could make use of. So we'll be talking about this female head product. There is a Kickstarter campaign going on with a few days left, hopefully a few days left at the time I post this video. And we're going to take a look at this and do a little bit of drawing from it just because, well, it's good for everybody. I brought this other figure here, which is a different resin cast of a female figure that I received from 3D Total Publishing to do a review of a while back, a few years now, I believe. The comparison between the two, I brought this one out because it would be pretty challenging to study just from the face. I feel like the head here on the figure is a little bit too small to be able to do a real detailed dive into what's going on with the facial structure of a female model. So I'll put that one aside. This one is, as you can see, is quite a bit larger in comparison. It is, again, cast in resin. It is a medium gray color, so it receives the light really well, and you can get a bit of a more accurate read in terms of value structure when we have these that are toned down a little bit and they're not super bright white. So I'm going to just have this up here, and I'm going to do a little bit of drawing in my sketch pad here. Make sure that is everything is working here, and then we're just gonna draw a female head and kind of give you an idea of how you might utilize something like this in just daily practice, or just kind of warming up, or perhaps a serious study, an anatomical study of the human head. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of use some of my framework ways to break this down. And this first circle is just to kind of achieve some scale, and I kind of working through. I'll probably fast forward this so that you're not sitting here watching me in real time do this drawing. Or I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it and you could fast forward it yourself if you're not interested in watching a real-time drawing. But I'm starting out with this colored pencil. I just grabbed a pencil out of my colored pencil box. There's no particular reason why I chose this color. It's a nice kind of middle of the road color. And what I'm doing right now is just kind of establishing. I'm referring back to this because it's kind of interesting. If I was drawing this from scratch and I didn't have a reference, I would probably start it exactly the same way. I would break it down exactly the same way. But what I'm doing here is kind of looking at the way that I'm drawing this, and I'm waving my pencil around there and closing one eye and kind of visualizing where all of these lines would actually take place. So I feel like that circle would just go just under the nose of the head, and then maybe some of the side of the skull. I don't know if it would be that wide. This box here is almost representing this top area coming down the side. Not almost. It is representing the top area. This square would probably be cutting just across the bridge of the nose. If we went halfway between here and here, we'd have the brow line. So there is the brow line, center line. Then within the brow line, we have what looks like this sort of a basic jobber here. It's kind of nice to get a rhythm that goes like that. And I guess that rhythm, if it continued would be kind of pointing at the center of the eyes. It's actually a nice kind of an idea there to do that. I guess I'll give myself a little bit of credit. I added these little symbols in here. Okay, and then the reason I said give myself a little bit of credit is because none of what I'm doing here is an original thought. This is all based on probably a combination of things that I've gotten from the Riley method and also a bit of Loomis. So Loomis and Riley would be these sort of structural ideas, ways to create frameworks to draw from, ways to almost organize into some sort of a system, the complex anatomy of a human head. Okay, this is giving me pretty much the coordinates of the eyeball. The other thing is with this pencil, there'll just be a buildup of color or value underneath, so it's not like the drawing won't become this big hot mess of lines everywhere, and I don't need to be concerned with erasing anything. So cross-checking some of this anatomy, I feel like, is a thing that that I can see this being extremely useful as a tool. Because when you're doing, I guess you could reference, I don't know, I suppose you could reference the anatomy of the face, the underlying structure of the face while you're drawing this, like from a book, and it's already two-dimensional. But I think that there's something about having this in your hand or having this three-dimensional thing in front of you that helps to make that translation between the three-dimensional and the two-dimensional world. There are, it's, you don't have to try to visualize what you're trying to accomplish. So I guess what I mean is, if you're just translating a flat thing to a flat thing, a two-dimensional photograph or drawing or diagram, and you're drawing it on a two-dimensional surface, there's certain things that have already been decided for you or that you've been clued in on or that's already there. To have to make that translation yourself in real time as you're drawing it, I think is kind of not kind of, I think it's a very useful thing. Now I'm just kind of lining things up, using the tool. I'm spending a lot of my time looking at this 3D head sculpture, the model. Just call it the model. I'm spending a lot of time looking at that, and I'm actually drawing as I'm looking at that. So the path of my mark is following, almost like my eye is drawing and my hand is just plotting it, if that makes sense. I think that would not make sense to most people that are just kind of flipping through a video wondering what's going on with this head and this person drawing and talking. But if you do art, you know what I'm talking about. I'm referring to the idea of drawing as you seeing the form, kind of drawing it with your eyes and then transferring it to this surface, this two-dimensional surface. It's almost like translating a language. Someone's speaking something here and I am listening and translating it to this language. All right. So the ears should pretty much land here and here, and then they should come down to just about the base of the nose, down here. Seems like the ears are large, but it's probably just because I haven't drawn a chin yet. Just kind of show where they're going to go. Down here. Give the other one in there. Slightly different shape. It's going to end again right around there. Yeah, I mean, it really is kind of cool. I haven't done a lot of this where I'm drawing from a figure like this. So it is sort of a new-ish experience for me. I think what I'm going to do here is, almost just get this map. And again, I'm drawing at a weird angle here too. Like I can't tell if this is off. Yeah, it's kind of like slanted off this way a bit. So I apologize for that. But I have to, in order to have the microphone and record the audio and hold this thing in my hand. And the reason I'm holding it in my hand and tilting it like this is that I could have it set up, but then you wouldn't be able to see it and make those kind of cross references as well. So again, I guess I'm begging forgiveness rather than asking permission about how some of the drawing is off because I'm at a strange angle. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to switch over and scooch up so that I could do a better drawing, but that's okay. We'll roll with it the way that it is. So what I'm going to do here with this pencil is I'm not going to get super technical with this or the lighting. I think I'm just going to give it a little bit of some character by just kind of turning it into. And what I'm doing here is just kind of doing this to almost make it seem like these lines are a little bit more random. And I could even now everything is placed the right way. So a lot of the hard decisions are gone. Now it becomes just a matter of rendering this thing. So what I'm doing is, especially the areas that would be in shadow, I'm kind of making those a little bit more saturated with color, with the colored pencil. And I'm also kind of hiding or concealing all of these lines so that they again seem like these decisions were made with this purple to render it and not so much to place it or to as part of the finished drawing. And I'm saying words, but part of my brain is thinking about what I'm drawing here. So sorry if it's like, why? What's going on with this guy? He speaks slowly, then he speaks quickly, then he makes sense, and then he doesn't. Yeah, I'm just kind of filling the space here. I guess I'm filling the visual space and I'm filling the auditory space. Maybe. Maybe we should have some fun with her ears. Make her an elf. This is just taken on a whole nother level of crazy, I suppose. Okay, well, definitely a slanted slightly this way, which is because I'm kind of ducking out of the picture here, but maybe I'll hold it up like this, and I guess it's too late now. This would have to be moved over. This is a different shape than that. This side comes out this way more, so I'd have to bring this up. And I guess it wouldn't matter because it'd be covering all that with hair anyway. This rhythm, I could see where that kind of got a little bit out of whack. even the ears are off. These points that I put in there. Shadow under here. I guess the more I said I didn't want to get too complicated with it, but alas, it became complicated anyway. I mean, who says alas? I must be getting old. It's weird that some of the muscles are picking up the light a different way. So I guess that part of it, maybe it would be interesting to have a skinned model, meaning like a 3D model of a head that was a sculpture of an actual person with skin. And then light that and use that as a secondary method. So different versions of this. Like I don't think you would make a female skull. I think that it's already going to be the same. I mean, structurally, it's pretty similar. But having a skinned version of this model would be cool, like in the same scale. Yeah, I don't know if that's totally necessary, but I'm thinking out loud, which is what you do when you're drawing by yourself in the darkness. That's not really dark. I mean, that was fun. And I guess, really, if you learn something and it's fun, why would you not want to do that? Of course you want to do that. We want to know and we want to have fun. All right. I don't know what that looks like on video, but it still needs some work because again, I'm having a hard time with this glare and I'm trying to make this poor girl's eyes more symmetrical. She's kind of looking off to the side. This eye kind of started to float up in the air. I'm blaming it on the way I was sitting. It's not because I can't draw. I swear I can draw. Not kidding. Really. I mean, it's not that bad if I take some time to really add or take away. And I attacked this drawing like pretty. I just went after it right away. I didn't spend enough time planning it out in terms of the placement, like, or the way these features were. I would have spent more time being more accurate and cross-checking my answers more often.
Thanks for watching. Like, there's like a little button that they put on the laptop or something, and then they say click it, and then you can never even miss a video.
That's if you subscribe.